Will the Saints entertain Huddersfield? Huddersfield first out on the pitch, highly unusual. We're just waiting for the Saints to turn out, and here come the Saints, led out this evening by matchday mascot, who is Catherine Louise Parry. She's 9 years of age. She's out there just passing up with Shane Cooper, the Saints captain. Big day for this young lady. As I said, she's 9 years of age. She's from Willow Road, Haydock. She attends English Martyrs School. Her hobbies are dancing, singing and reading. Also watching the Saints. There she is, just giving a wave to the crowd. Her favourite players are Gary Connolly, Alan Hunt and Sonny Nicol. I think she had a picture taken with Alan Hunt before. And there's Alec Murphy down below receiving the applause of the popular side faithful. For the Saints team for this evening. As Shane Cooper, and I think it's Brian Blacker is the captain for Huddersfield. But the Saints team for this evening: full-back Phil Beavers, three-quarter line of Quirk, Rapati, McCracken and Sullivan, half-backs are Griffiths and O'Donnell, a front row of Harrison, Groves and Forber, and the back three is Joint, Nicol and Cooper, with Riley and Dwyer on the substitutes bench. There's referee Kershaw, captain Shane Cooper, Catherine Louise Parry, tonight's match day mascot, and there she is, just hurrying away, making her way over to the main stand side. Ken Healy, I think it is, to greet her and reunite her with her parents. For the Huddersfield side for this evening, Lawrence at full-back, three-quarter line of Derrick, Helliwell, Simpson and Thomas. The half-backs are Davis and Flanagan, the front row Fogarty, Hook and Pusil. The back row of Nadioli, Haggerty and Blacker, with Greenwood and Pearson at the substitutes bench. Huddersfield to get us underway. A lot of uncommon names, are not household names in the Huddersfield side, but I hope you'll bear with me this evening for this evening's clash. Anyway, Saints in possession. It's Sonny Nicol. He brings the ball centre field, just outside of his own 20-metre line. Paul Groves, he's in at the hooking berth. Bernard Dwyer rested on the bench, along with Kevin Ward, who's arrested Alan Hunt, and Gary Connolly, who picked up a slight ankle injury. Well, Saints lose possession. Huddersfield have the ball. Loose play from the Saints there. Jonathan Griffiths taking a knock, but referee Kershaw penalises the Saints for moving up in an offside position. So the first penalty of this evening going Huddersfield way. Referee Kershaw moved in quickly after the Saints had made an error. And Huddersfield are going to have a go for goal. It's Phil Helliwell that's going to attempt this kick. As I said, Gary Connolly on international duty picked up an ankle injury. Only took part in the first 40 minutes. Much as plenty of paper talking that at least Connolly, even though he was injured and having treatment, he did make the trip round the field at Wembley to applaud the travelling faithful that had gone down to support Great Britain in the World Cup final. Just lost by 4 points there, 10 points to 6 was the final score. But a chance for Huddersfield now to get points on the board, and no doubt Alex Murphy, the ex-Saints coach, now here at Huddersfield, he'll have his team fired up and he'll want all the points available. Well, we've just had 2 minutes on the clock, and Helliwell has converted that penalty award. So that gives it now the score at Saints 0, Huddersfield 2. Jerry Kershaw, one of our senior whistlers, but the Saints had taken the kick-off quickly, put pressure on Huddersfield, and they're forced to drop out from between the sticks. But Saints back in possession. Paul Forber, he takes it up, drives it up into the Huddersfield defence. And on show this evening with two of the biggest forwards in the rugby league, John Harrison, 6'7" for the Saints, and Fogarty there, Jason Fogarty, 6'8", ex-basketball player. but it's Groves attacked in half-back for the Saints. He moves it left. Along the line, Griffiths. Viva's in the line. Rapati takes it out to the... Oh, brilliant! Brilliant move from Rapati. And Saints sit back in good style with a try there from Tia Rapati. Excellent move there from the Saints. The ball was dropped out. It was spread over to the left, through a few pair of hands. Phil Vivas moved up, making the extra man, and then a superb pass to Rapati, and this man's got class stamped all the way through him. Took it well, sidestepped past the Huddersfield defence and touched down just to the left of the sticks. After Saints trailing with that Helliwell penalty goal, just a minute later, Rapati touches down over the whitewash. His 7th try of the season, and the chance for Gus O'Donnell to tag the extra points on. Waved away there by the touch judges. The score still remains at 4 points to 2. Let's hope that goal kick is not too crucial at the end of this evening's match. Saints colours lowered for the first time last week here at Nosey Road. It was deemed as a neutral ground for the Lancashire Cup final. 5 points to 4. The Saints going down to the old pie eaters. But on that occasion, totally impartial as I am, I must say that the best side lost on that day. Just a drop goal that separated the sides, but certainly Saints had the measure of Wigan. But that drop goal from Bottica sorted it out. That was the crucial point. We wouldn't have thought so at the time it was kicked. But Sonny Nicol there just breaking free. It's on to Paul Farber. The Saints are running hard, and quite a bit of action there as Farber comes in. Plenty of players moving in, but the referee's right in on the job. And temper's getting a little frayed. I would imagine it's going to be a penalty to the Saints. It is. Referee Kershaw, he's having a word. Nadioli, I think. He's got 10 minutes in the sin bin for his trouble. Yes, number 11, Joe Nadioli. Huddersfield, they have possession. The rain coming down now, and here's the big Fogarty, Jason Fogarty, 6'8" of him, powering his way downfield. Phil Hook attacked in half-back, but Fogarty plays it to himself. Surely that's a penalty. The man was marked, but he's actually given a knock-on. He's given a scrum down with the Saints feed, but Fogarty looks as though he was well marked there. Groves marking up, but referee Kershaw on this occasion giving the knock on. It's a scrum down. Saints feed as Huddersfield push. They'll have to go back. Well, referee Kershaw, he's ordering the team to get up. He wants them positioned on the correct blade of grass, but obviously he's not happy with it. He's penalised Huddersfield. Obviously packing too early, and a chance now for Vivas to find touch on the popular side and hopefully put Saints with a build up to an attacking position. Paul Groves on to John Harrison. Harrison and Fogarty, as I said, the two tall men are in there, but it's now with O'Donnell on to Farber, breaking through Farber. Vivas was in on his left, but the ball spread, and there's going to be an overlap for the Saints. Good ball from McCracken, out to Les Quirk. Well, the second tackler going in on the far side, on to Les Quirk. But it's McCracken attacked in half. Saints along the line again, and this paid dividends last time. It's Chris Joint, he's brought down centre field. Cooper and Groves are the run around onto O'Donnell. He can't take it, but Huddersfield have possession, and they're breaking through. Vivas and Groves. Well, the touch judge is on, but there was nothing in that tackle at all, I can assure you. The full-back there, Jason Lawrence, the Australian, got up quickly to play the ball, but referee Kershaw, couldn't think of his name then. Referee Kershaw going in on the intervention of the touch judge and an alleged punch going in. Well, they didn't look anything in that tackle at all. Let's hope the officials are as eagle-eyed throughout this evening's procedure as that one. Anyway, the other prop forward, Andy Pusil, formerly with Swinton. Excellent competitor is Pusil, now with Fogarty. This man will have to be taken, obviously, round the legs, round the top as well. Big man and can spread the ball. But he's doing a lot of mauling there. Well, John Harrison is going to be penalised. And it was Fogarty that was lying all over him. Once again, referee Kershaw conned and the Saints have been penalised. Shane Cooper's going in and asking the questions, but he'll get no joy out of this fella. Referee Kershaw. But Huddersfield, they're going to have a go for goal. They're trailing by 4 points to 2. This will put them on level terms. And referee Kershaw, they're conned once again. Harrison trying to roll out of the way. Fogarty all over him. And it was Harrison that was penalised. Somebody just below just stirring the views of what to think about the referee. Obviously, a lot of these fellas should get done under the Trades Descriptions Act. He's supposed to be totally impartial, but he didn't rule so there. It's Helliwell looking for his second of the evening. 30 odd metres out, about 15 metres in. Well, it goes across the face of the post, as you can see the rain coming down, but O'Donnell juggles with it. But it's Sonny Nicol from acting half. Farber now at dummy half. He tries to go on his own. As the rain comes down, a very still, cool evening. Joint now, he's been quite outstanding in the last few weeks as Chris Joint, and he was definitely my man of the match in the Lancashire Cup final last week against Wigan. On to Rapati now, into space, Sullivan's with him, Sullivan up the wing, inside to Rapati, oh superb, and Rapati is going to go all the way, a superb try by Rapati, and what a movement there, 75 yards upfield. Brilliant into passing, and the Saints register the second try. Superb movement there. As the Saints brought it in their own 20-metre area, they brought it left. Rapati took up the run in, he beat one man, he slipped it to Sullivan. Sullivan went, made further yardage upfield, turned it back inside to Rapati. Rapati was looking for support, but he didn't need it. He outpaced the Huddersfield defence and he touched down just a yard or so in from the corner flag. And he's going to have a go to see if he can convert his own try. Excellent work there by the Saints and a full length of the field movement. So Rapati now. Kicked 13 goals this season. Bernard Dwyer's been taking most of the goal kicks, with Paul Loughlin still out injured, but had the plaster off, back in training. Also David Lyon, he's still suffering from a hamstring injury, not made his debut yet for the Saints. But Rapati now, long distance kick, let's see what this fella can do. Not much of a run up, but it's going across the face of the posts, waved away by the touch judges. 8 points to 2 the score remains, but brilliant try there from the Saints. Top of the table, Saints, first division. Huddersfield are second division opponents. They was promoted last season from the third, but unfortunately they found it. Well, pick the bones out of that, Mr. Touch Judge. They've been promoted, but they're finding it hard in the second division at the bottom of the table. Only one win under the belt this season, and they're forced to kick off again. O'Donnell takes it well. He's been out with a broken thumb. Well, a high tackle rule there by referee Kershaw. Once again, as O'Donnell came in, there didn't look a lot in it, but Saints do have the penalty, and Phil Vevers has a chance now to find touch on the popular side here. The lines, obviously, Not very clear this evening, but we've had solid rain, and must have had about 24 hours of rain, and it's hardly stopped today. But it's Groves attacked in half-back. Farber drives it up, solid tackling again. Phil Hook, the hooker, one of the tacklers in there. Well, the referee Kershaw, well, if it's good enough for one side, it's good enough for the other, isn't it? But he's seen it this time, and it's Phil Hook and Andy Pusey that are penalised this time. He took his time about it, and perhaps a little bit of encouragement from the unbiased popular side faithful below us just influenced his decision on that occasion. But John Harrison, he drives the ball up. He's 13 metres away from the Huddersfield line. Groves inside to Farber, takes it well. Hook and Fogarty complete the tackle. Groves attacked in half-back. Now with O'Donnell onto Griffiths, he moves it crossfield, and Nickel coming through, slips it to Rapati. Oh, he's in for his hat-trick. Superb play by the Saints, and it's going to be a rout, this, isn't it? 14 minutes on the clock, and Rapati in for his hat-trick. Excellent play by the Saints, quick handling, backing the man up with the ball, and this is paying the dividends, isn't it? Rapati there, 3 tries in 11 minutes, extends the Saints' lead now to 12 points to 2. Never to be underestimated, obviously, these lower division sides, when they come up in a competition, a cup competition, any type of cup competition against first division opposition. We all know a couple of seasons ago when Dewsbury came here in the lower divisions, they came away with a 12 points, we drew 12 points apiece here, and to be quite honest, on the night, I think Dewsbury were robbed. They should have beaten the Saints. They definitely should have come away with a win. We had to go to Wakefield to play them in the replay. Saints come up with the points. They won that contest that evening, and Tia Rapati there converts his own try, and that particular evening, Rapati made his debut at Wakefield at Bellevue Stadium. He only lasted 19 minutes. He went off with a knee injury, a bad knee injury. He had to go home, have it operated on, and he came back to the Saints. It took the Saints public quite a long time to warm to this fella, but he's part and parcel now of the furniture here at Nosey Road, and he's doing well this afternoon, isn't he? All the Saints points, all 14 of them, with 3 Rapati tries and a Rapati conversion. Saints in possession. Groves attacked in half-back. Nickel finally allowed to play it. Farber running up centre field. Done plenty running this evening. Also in the Huddersfield ranks this evening, ex-Saints favourite Roy Haggerty. Whether he's here on loan or not, I don't know. He was on the Barrow books. I know Alex Murphy, Saints coach, was definitely after buying him. It's the 6th and final tackle of this sequence. The ball back to Griffiths. Kicks it deep. Puts pressure. Well, a knock on there. That's the idea of the deep kick. He put pressure on Carl Derrick, the right winger for Huddersfield. And it's going to be a scrum down with a Saints feed. With Saints about 15 metres from the Huddersfield line, and an ideal platform for the Saints to build on again and hopefully come away with more points. Well, O'Donnell knocks it back. Sullivan takes it well. Saints losing yardage there with an awkward swirling ball at the scrum. But Sonny Nickel pushing the defenders off. Well, the touch judge and the referee combining to make a decision. The referee right on the job, and he's there right in the action. He should be able to make his mind up, shouldn't he? But he's quickly in there. A differential penalty. Not packing correctly is referee Kershaw's indication. And a differential penalty going Huddersfield way. He moved in quickly, and Huddersfield gain yardage, fine touch just inside the Saints half. Hook to play it. Fogarty the runner, he'd overrun him. And Hook had to take it on his own. Pusil attacked in half-back. On to Roy Haggerty now. We know what this fella can do, Roy Haggerty. Flamboyant character, can break holes in the most tightest of defences. It's now with Pusil. Drives it down the blind side, looking for support. Saints wrap him up. Rapate, Groves and Joint. Well, surely the referee not allowing for the condition of the weather this evening. He's moved in quickly and penalised the Saints for lying on. Neil Flanagan, he's a relation of Terry Flanagan, the assistant coach here at Fartown, or for the Fartown club. But it's Fogarty powering his way to the Saints line. Saints forced to defend, in the lead by 14 points to 2. Flanagan again. Ex-Oldham Neil Flanagan, but there's the standoff. Saw the gap. Brad Davis, another Aussie in the Huddersfield ranks. He saw the gap, he went for it. And here's Fogarty. No way through for him. Some solid tackling by the Saints. But he's lost possession as Huddersfield reaps back his referee Kershaw's indication. It certainly looks as though he'd lost the ball as the Huddersfield player. But referee Kershaw moves in quickly. He's winning quite a few friends with the Saints public, but Huddersfield going for a short-range try there. They played it quickly and they moved in, and it's Huddersfield's first try. It's the hooker, Phil Hook, that's actually been accredited with the try. We're just on the 20th minute now, and Phil Hook with his try, quickly in. Huddersfield had a penalty awarded for an alleged reaping of the ball by the Saints, and it was quickly played. Hook at short range, only a yard or so out, and he touched down just to the left of the sticks. It puts Huddersfield on with the first try, brings them in at 14 points to 6 with this conversion from Helliwell to come. Shouldn't have any problem, should he? Right in front of the sticks. Alex Murphy will be pleased with his team there, piercing the Saints defence. It's one thing that Wigan couldn't do, but it's Helliwell, strikes it well, puts it between the uprights. Makes the score now 14 points to 8. Looks a bit more respectable for Huddersfield. 20 minutes of the first half gone, 20 to go, 14-8 is the score. Tirapati from the centre spot to kick off, but quite a few controversial decisions from referee Kershaw. A blood bin substitution now as Tirapati has to come off. He's been treated by Jeanette Smith, but he's going to get wrapped up straight away. But Gus O'Donnell, he kicks it off, gets us underway. Brian Blacker, the loose forward, takes it. Nadioli back and forced into touch. Excellent tackling there. Tony Sullivan and Chris Joint combined to put Nadioli into touch. He's lost his headgear in that movement and he's just discarded it. But it's a scrum down with the Saints feed. Well, referee Kershaw moves in quickly, penalises Huddersfield. Differential penalty. Phil Vevers comes up for the place kick, looking for the added yardage. Good kick from Vevers, finds touch 10 metres short of the Huddersfield line. Groves on to Harrison, he'll drive it forward. Saints now another 5 tackles to pierce this Huddersfield defence. Hook a bit slow getting up, but now it's Sonny Nicol. He drives it forward, but the Huddersfield defence is tight. Fogarty, one of the tacklers. Groves now, movement, oh yes, I was going to say a planned move on here, and Farber comes through. Groves moved it over to the right, Farber came through on the opposite diagonal, and that's the Saints' 4th try of the evening. Paul Farber, his first try of the season, extends the Saints' lead to 18 points to 8. Another difficult conversion for Tia. 20 metres, I beg your pardon. I'll get used to this eventually, all this metres and yards. I mean, I'm a pound, shillings and pence man. I mean, it's all new to me, this metre stuff. But anyway, 20 metres out and 10 metres in. Kick one this evening, looking for his second, and that's a good one, isn't it? Right between the uprights, that's a pearler from Rapati. Bangs it over. 20 points to 8 the score now. $16 points from Tia Rapati this evening. The other 4 coming from Paul Farber there. Going over for that try. And no doubt Alex Murphy down in the dugout. A few words of wisdom from the maestro. As Huddersfield kick off again. Well taken on the run by O'Donnell. Chips it through, gathers it, powers his way past. Oh, excellent work by O'Donnell. Superb play. And this is what it's taken, this bit of individual brilliance. O'Donnell, he saw the Huddersfield line had all pressed up, chipped over, bags of time. We had to wait for it to come down before a hand was laid on him. Saints move it across. Cooper, lofted ball, cut out ball there. McCracken, it's knocked down there on the far side. Ian Thomas. Well, a knock on given. Was charged down there as Saints moved it across. I think if Les Quirk could have took that, he'd have been away for Slates. There'd have been no danger. Scrum down. Saints feed. O'Donnell wants the ball, the Griffiths obliges. Well, referee Kershaw quickly in. Scrum infringement again. He's certainly doing a bit of nitpicking this evening, isn't he? But it's Saints that have the penalty award. Vivers finds touch on the 10-metre line. And Saints now building up again. Harrison powers it forward. Paper thin Huddersfield defence. Cut out faster Rapati. Out to Sullivan. Let's see what this lad can do. He doubles back inside. Then comes back onto the wing. Groves wants a quick play the ball. Referee Kershaw lining Huddersfield out, making sure they're onside. But now it's Nickel running onto that short ball. Second tackler coming in there from Huddersfield. Nickel there, well, I thought he'd had an injured leg then, but he finally gets up. Groves moves it crossfield, Farber into the gap, gives it back to Vivers. Quirk on his outside, Saints gaining valuable yardage. Quick play the ball, now with O'Donnell. Saw the gap, went for it, slipped it out, overlap for the Saints. Joint, he'll be in for his first try, yes! Excellent work from the Saints. Quick transference of the ball, and that's what it's about, isn't it? Let the ball do the work. And the Saints do with a 5th try from Chris Joint in the 26th minute. His first try for the Saints. $24 points to 8 the score. And after the Saints had amassed a 14 points to 2 lead, then the Phil Hook went over for a short-range try, brought Huddersfield back into it at 20 points to, I beg your pardon, 14 points to 8. And then the Saints running out there with 2 tries in the space of 4 minutes from forwards Farber and Joint. The latter converted by Rapati, and he's looking to convert this one, an exact similar position. And if he gets it right again, Rapati should have this between the sticks. There he goes, strikes it well, but across the face of the post this time. 24-8, and Huddersfield making a substitution with Brandon Greenwood coming on for Carl Derrick in the 27th minute. So So Carl Derrick comes off, Brandon Greenwood on. Will it not pick it up there? No. And Huddersfield, they kick off yet again. I would imagine they'll be getting sick of kicking off before this evening's match is finished. With 12 minutes of this half to go, plus obviously 40 minutes in the second half. So it's not really broken into a gallop yet. Groves inside to Harrison. Support from Groves again, and Saints moving it over to the right. Cooper waltzes through the defence, creates the gap onto McCracken on the far side. Huddersfield move over, tidy him up. Joe Nadioli, one of the tacklers, as Cooper again sets play underway. Sonny Nickel. Blacker brings him down. Andy Pusill's there as well. But solid tackling from Huddersfield. Fogarty also in at that tackle. Groves, Griffiths along the line. Forber, short ball to Beavers. Into space onto McCracken. Only the full-back to beat, but he gives it there to Les Quirk. And Saints in for another. Quirk comes in. Excellent play there. Quick hands. And as I said before, that's what pays the dividends, isn't it? McCracken into a big hole, strode up the main stand side here at Nosey Road, drew his man, slipped it out to Les Quirk, and there was nobody going to beat Quirk, was there? Only in for his second try of the season. 28 points to 8 to score, and plenty of time for the Saints to hopefully amass a large score. The winners of this evening's tie, which obviously is going to be the Saints, isn't it? The way they're going. Have a home tie against Leeds. Scheduled, I think it's for a week on Sunday. But I think that's more or less the tie of the round, and maybe it could be a week this Saturday on the television as the BBC, they do the Regal Trophy. But your Saints video team will be here as well, and we'll bring it to you in living colour. Rapati again strikes it well through the uprights this time. £30 points to 8 now. Rapati's third goal. And Les Quirk with the 6th try. Just wondering whether I'll have enough room on my team sheet for this evening. The time we've finished and the way the Saints are scoring. It's now McCracken. Drives it up, bursts through the defence, looking for support there, but there was nobody on his right. I think Les Quirk had come inside. He was anticipating McCracken going up the wing. If that had been Les Quirk there, we could have got it away to him, he'd have been away again. We know what Les Quirk can do well. Obstructed there at the play the ball was Paul Groves, but it's now McCracken again. The tackle count is waved clean, obviously because a Huddersfield player had touched the ball, and Saints moving it along the line again. O'Donnell, superb ball to Joint, but excellent tackle there. Substitute Brandon Greenwood moving in and executing a brilliant tackle. Saints moving quickly. Joint sidesteps and drives up, looking for support. Well, Fogarty coming in over the top as Blacker had completed the tackle. Griffiths, good ball to Forber. A long ball out to Les Quirk. He's up the wing, but he's well taken. Ian Thomas moves in quickly this time. Brings Les Quirk to a halt, but Saints keep up the charge, and it's Forber. Turning round, he gets it away to Beavers. Saints move it crossfield. Well, the looks as though it was coming crossfield. Shane Cooper has it. Last tackle of this sequence. Cooper plays it to himself, back to Groves. O'Donnell now. Long ball to Griffiths. It's on the last tackle. Griffiths throws it away. Huddersfield have possession. Phil Helliwell gathers it. It would have been the turnover if Saints had been tackled in possession. Now Huddersfield with one of the rare touches. 8 minutes remaining of the half. Saints in a commanding 30 points to 8 lead. Well, the ball allegedly reaped out by Chris Joint. A penalty going Huddersfield way. 7 penalties to 6, I make it. But it's quite a few minutes since referee Kershaw has given the penalty. And Huddersfield find touch midway between the 20-metre line and the halfway line. Phil Hook ready to restart play. Roy Haggerty, first receiver. Saints penalised for offside. I don't know how we can pick that out. But a quick play. Pusil now brings the ball up on Huddersfield there. Got a bit of a platform to build on. Looking for their second try of the evening. But good clamp tackling there by the Saints just as the Huddersfield man was going to release it. Referee Kershaw lined up as Haggerty drives at the defence. Phil Hook from acting half-back scored the Huddersfield try. The only Huddersfield try. Well, he's doing a bit of mauling instead of playing the ball. He played it. It's the 6th tackle of this sequence now. Saints have defended well, but he's going in for a short-range try. Gets the ball away to Flanagan, who moves it cross-field. But Sullivan goes in for the interception. The turnover is it going to be given? Well, Huddersfield have possession. He's given a knock-on with a Huddersfield feed. Well, I can't understand the man's reasoning there. He's given, in fact, he's penalised Huddersfield. They came up with possession. Saints had knocked on. Sullivan did knock on. But Huddersfield had possession. They gained advantage. But he brought them back. Blacker with the ball from the scrum. And now it's Pusil running blindside. Beavers well in there with John Harrison and Paul Groves. And now it's Flanagan bringing the runners on. Nadioli, but good tackling again. Sonny Nicol moving in this time. Still well, obstruction there as it's moved left, but it's going to be a knock-on, a forward pass. The wingman touches down, but the sheer strength of that tackle on the far side from the Saints, shaking the ball from his grasp. He lost it. The wingman, Ian Thomas, gathered it, went over, but it's a scrum down with the Saints feed, and it's Gus O'Donnell who feed the scrum. Huddersfield push. The scrum will have to be reformed and brought back. 5 minutes of the half remaining. 30 points to 8 the score. O'Donnell. Griffiths. Just looking for the support there. Losing his footing. Well, offside the Huddersfield man he must have been. But Saints allowed to play on this time. The standoff, Brad Davis, the Australian standoff, moving in quickly. Saints move it again. Phil Beavers has to take the tackle. Jared McCracken was moving in quickly and he'd been well on his way, wouldn't he? Cooper brings it blind. On to John Harrison, turns it inside. Cooper couldn't take it. Nadioli has it for Huddersfield. I don't think Shane Cooper was expecting that pass. Well, referee Kershaw nitpicking again. Haggerty taps it quickly, tries to go over at short range, but there's no way through for him. Huddersfield again, moving it crossfield. Davis, lofted ball. Well, he's lost it. The substitute, Brandon Greenwood, came on. Brad Davis with a lofted cut-out pass. Couldn't take it, good Greenwood. The ball dribbling into touch. And a scrum down now with the Saints feed. Just on the 10-metre line. O'Donnell feeds it. On to Griffiths. Back to O'Donnell. Well, Saints knock it forward. Trying to move it too quickly, the Saints. Caught on the hop. Puts them under pressure again. Huddersfield feed. Well, Huddersfield have possession. I don't know what. I just can't understand this fella's reasoning this evening. Huddersfield play it quickly. It's Fogarty. The full-back in the line, but it's on to Davis. Jason Lawrence came up for an extra pair of hands, but a knock-on indicated, and the game littered with infringements. So certainly the referee not helping it, is he? Instead of trying to let the game flow. Obviously a difficult evening, a rain-sodden pitch. It has been raining through the match. But he's blew up at every conceivable occasion. He's there again. A differential penalty. Saints awarded the penalty this time. And certainly a stop-start type of job from referee Kershaw. Touch found, just short, about 12 metres short of the halfway line. Couple of minutes of the half remaining. Let's see if Saints can finish off with a flourish as Harrison nearly got through there. Was Haggerty and Nadioli in at the tackle. Offside here on the referee's right, but he didn't spot it that time, did he? The scrum half there, Neil Flanagan. He was miles offside. Saints bring it blindside. Cooper. The ball back to Paul Groves. Tirapati in the centre. Lofts it out to Griffiths. Huddersfield on the rack here as Griffiths bursts through. It's on to McCracken. McCracken pushes the Huddersfield defenders off. And he's brought down 10 metres short. Now it's Rapati again. The ball back to Vivers. He's up in the attack, takes it well. They're obviously getting a bit of treatment there. O'Donnell, good ball to Farber. The ball back, Saints will have to tidy it up. Cooper does so, flicks it up to Harrison. And Harrison drives up yet again. Last tackle of this sequence. Let's see if the Saints put a high one up to put a bit of pressure on Huddersfield. It's now with Rapati. There it goes. Joints chasing it. Griffiths chase. It's a loose. Do the Saints have a try? No, a knock-on indicated. Well, he's indicated a knock-on. And yet, a knock-on type of movement, and yet it's a restart from the centre of the 20-metre line. Anything can happen with this fella. Just approaching half-time, only a couple of seconds or so on the clock. And it's Fogarty. He's driving it forward. Saints in a comfortable 30 points to 8 lead. Well, loose play there. Well, the referee right on the job. A knock-on given, but there's the half-time hooter. So Saints are going off with a comfortable half-time lead. 6 tries from the Saints, a hat-trick for Tirapati, and 1 each from Farber, Joint and Quirk. 3 Tirapati goals. So half-time here at Nosey Road in the preliminary round of the Regal Trophy. It's Saints 30, Huddersfield 8. The pitch. And before we get underway, I have an 18th birthday mention for Paul Linen. Now Paul is 18 this Saturday, the 31st of October. He's a resident of Par. His favourite player is Sonny Nicol. He's out there this evening giving a good account of himself. He's an avid home and away spectator. He's a regular viewer of your Saints video, and he knows a good product when he sees it and hears it, doesn't he? He's employed at the St Helens Star, as I said. He's 18 this Saturday, so happy birthday, Paul, from myself, Ron Hoof, and all your Saints video crew. Anyway, Saints that's kicked off. Huddersfield in possession, trailing by 30 points to 8. A quick break this time, and haven't even had time to drink me hot black currant and me little snack. But anyway, we're back in action. Let's hope somebody said something to referee Kershaw at half-time, because let's hope he keeps it free-flowing this half to his intermittent display in the first half. But no doubt the air will be blue in the Huddersfield changing room with the controversial Alex Murphy. He was the coach here before Mike McLennan took over. And obviously Shane Cooper took over as caretaker coach after Alex had left. A character in his own right, Alec Murphy, there's no danger about that. Not a very successful period he had with the Saints, but we was at Wembley twice, the Regal Trophy, Premiership final, and if we'd have won them all, he'd have been probably classed as one of the greatest coaches we've had here. But unfortunately, it didn't come off for him, and he had to go his own way. Anyway, Saints are in possession. Groves moves it left, onto Faber. He straightens up, drives it forward. Last tackle of this sequence, 10-15 yards further forward. Faber goes, Groves puts it back to Vevers, puts it low, awkward ball, but well taken there. Jason Lawrence, Australian fullback. Huddersfield, they've had a couple of players suspended. They've Senior and Coulter. They've, as I said, been suspended. They've also lost players, gone to other clubs, Gibson, Cocker, Parr, and they're quite struggling a bit at the bottom of the second division. Always a problem with finance with a lot of these clubs, and the once great Huddersfield club. But they're moving it quickly to the left. Flanagan trying to get things underway, and it's the standoff there. Brad Davis just losing his footing. It's on the last tackle. Loose forward, Brian Blacker lofts it high. Well, Paul Groves goes in for it. I think Groves has it. Well, a knock-on indicated, is it? Turnover given. Well, Huddersfield must have had possession. Hook must have come up with the ball and the turnover given. Faber now going through, and a high tackle. Nadioli going in, he's saying a high tackle. Also Fogarty. Well, you'd expect a high tackle off him, wouldn't you? He's only 6'8". I mean, he'll have a job bend his back, wouldn't he? Groves just outside the 10-metre line. John Harrison. Groves again, blindside ploy to O'Donnell. He brings it inside now. Bernard Dwyer slips on at half-time. Very unlucky Bernard Dwyer. Well, Chris Joynt bursting through, looking for support. Vevers was there, he couldn't release it. Nickel attacked in half. Harrison. Also Mike Riley, he's come on at half-time. Try for the Saints. Good play, quick handling. And Sonny Nickel goes over for the try. 4 minutes of the second half gone. Well, Paul Lynon, who I just give a mention to just at the start of the second half, he'll be pleased with that. Sonny Nickel being his favourite player. Nickel on the try sheet, his 5th of the season, 34 points to 8. And Bernard Dwyer now, 3rd selection of kicker this evening. Bernard Dwyer's kick waved away, 34-8. A blood bin substitution now as Richard Pearson comes on to replace loose forward Brian Blacker. Got a mouth injury as Blacker is just below us, just being attended to by the Huddersfield physio. Vevers brings it on to McCracken, coming through at full pace. Just taken by the shirt collar there, Fogarty. But McCracken was on his way. Groves onto Harrison. Lofty ball, well taken by Joynt. Scooped out of the sky there. The ball looked well high, but Joynt come across with it. Now it's Sonny Nickel. The last try scorer went in at short range. So it's putting plenty of pressure on Huddersfield. Farber now running well down the blind side. It's fed inside to Nickel. Groves again. O'Donnell and Griffiths. McCracken tidies it up. McCracken bursting through. Well clamped there. It's touched a Huddersfield player in flight, and the tackle count is waved clean. Mike Riley going from acting half. O'Donnell, short ball to Harrison. Bernard Dwyer in support. Saints spreading it out. Farber again. Good dummy from Farber. Oh, unlucky Mike Riley, just couldn't take it. The ball going dead, and Huddersfield will start with a tap from the centre of the 20-metre line. So Bernard Dwyer on at half-time for Shane Cooper, and Tirapati also off, and Mike Riley on for him. With Saints having a healthy half-time lead, and also this Sunday top of the table clash against Bradford. Top of the table with the Saints on points. Anyway, should I say not points difference, but Bradford have played a game more than the Saints. Huddersfield in possession, just inside the Saints half. Pusil coming in, turns in the tackle, looking to release. Excuse me. But well clamped by Joint and Groves. Well, a knock on there. No. Waved it off. Said play on. Went to Neil Flanagan, but he boots it upfield. Good play on the far side. Mike Riley keeps the ball in field. Now it's Beavers. Comes across, then he straightens up. Gains valuable yardage. The Saints now break quickly. Griffiths. Well, the ball to Quirk. He couldn't take it. Quickly snapped up by Ian Thomas. But McCracken tidies him up with Nickel. But it's Flanagan looking for Huddersfield's second try. Huddersfield spreading it along the line. Fogarty. Support there. He gets it away to Roy Haggerty. An overhead pass. Halliwell can't take it. Now it's with Ian Thomas. Can he squeeze in at the corner? Well, Huddersfield put in quite a good performance together there. The best passage of play they've had all evening. Fogarty. Huddersfield spreading it. Flanagan is it. Oh, excellent tackle by Nickel. Got him by the scruff of the neck and bounced him to the ground. It was Andy Simpson that was coming across there. Now with Flanagan. Pusil kicks it through. McCracken there. Well, the try's given. McCracken looked as though he got to it, but Huddersfield squeezed in at the corner. Quick out of the blocks, and Huddersfield registered their second try after 10 minutes of the second half. Just can't see who's been accredited with the try. Just see if they put up anything on the scoreboard. But it's a try to Huddersfield. 34 points to 12. It's the substitute forward, Richard Pearson, that has gone over for that try. The clock temporarily stopped while Phil Halliwell gets the customary mound of sand. 34-12, and this Halliwell conversion to come. "22 metres out, about 10 metres in, but he drags it. It's narrow, waved away obviously. 34 points to 12. Pearson there just being announced on the PA system as the try scorer. Well, Saints have only played Huddersfield one other time apart from tonight in the Regal Trophy. Last season, that was at Fartown. They came away with 32 points to 10 winners. It started off as the Players' Trophy, it's now the Regal Trophy. Been going quite a few seasons, 1972-73 I think the first season it was played for. Wakefield beat Halifax, beat Wakefield, I beg your pardon, at Bradford, 22-11. Saints only once in the final. As Huddersfield spread it quickly, it's on to Thomas. Looking for support, ducks under one tackle. But Les Quirk and John Griffiths bring him to a halt. Simpson attacked in half, and that's given Huddersfield a little bit of life. Haggerty, well, a loose ball from Roy Haggerty. It's tidied up by Huddersfield. It actually came back. No knock on as indicated by referee Kershaw. But it's Pusil taking up the run-in, taking it blind up the main stand side here at Knowsley Road. Sixth and final tackle of this sequence. Pearson offside here, but as he runs up, but Beavers takes it well. Nadioli going in a little enthusiastically at the tackle. And Bernard Dwyer, well, Dwyer not selected in Mal Reilly's starting 17. He'd already lost one with Graham Steadman out of the 19, so only Dwyer the unlucky person. And I don't know how he could not pick Bernard Dwyer, because he played Dermot off the pitch here in the Lancashire Cup final. And when you watch that World Cup final, Dermot's lucky to stop on the ground, isn't he? An English referee, and he'd have been off there for that elbow tackle that he did on Fittler. But that's history now. Huddersfield have possession. Dwyer in for the tackle there, as Huddersfield are brought down just on their own 20-metre line. Fogarty. Hook at acting half. Well, he's doing a bit of mauling, this Hook, as Groves tries to roll away, and the Huddersfield man cabbages a couple of yards. But now it's Nadioli. Hook brings it blindside. Flanagan, short ball there to Pusil, turns it back inside to Hook, on to Flanagan. Nadioli, Huddersfield spreading it. Change of direction again. They're certainly not frightened of throwing this ball about, and that was always a hallmark of Alec Murphy's play. Open, fast rugby. Chipped through by Flanagan. Can he gather it? He can. Well, unbelievably forward pass onto Pearson, but referee Kershaw picked it out this time. But full marks for Enterprise. Good play from Flanagan. Chipped it through, gathered it safely. Pearson was in support, but it was a forward pass. Referee Kershaw pointing. It wouldn't be so bad if we knew what he was on about, would it? But O'Donnell, well, on against the head. Flanagan comes up with it. He's looking for support. Huddersfield pushing all the time, but it's Haggerty now. Wouldn't he like to get one on the scoreboard this evening? As Bernard Dwyer brings him down. Two Thatterweath lads there. Inside ball to the full-back, Lawrence. Brad Davies slipped it inside. Lawrence took it well. Now it's Pusil. Very lively forward, this lad. Only a couple of metres short of the try line. Huddersfield at 34-12 down. But Flanagan tried to pass it over the top. The last tackle of this sequence. And well taken down there by Farber and Co. Fogarty. Now it's Haggerty. Tries to chip it. It's going to be a turnover if Saints don't come up with possession. Roy Haggerty tried to chip it through. A little bit of inventiveness. Didn't come off for him. And Farber, he brings the ball up. Fogarty actually has hold of him. Tackle count wave clean there. Groves at dummy half. Inside to John Harrison. Riley and Sullivan on his left. He couldn't get it away, but Saints have been awarded a penalty. Groves wants to play it quickly. Well, Groves played it quickly, but the referee's not happy with it. Saints being awarded a penalty for Huddersfield not breaking quickly on the tackle, in effect holding in the tackle. But Groves played it quickly and he was penalised. Referee Kershaw in again, and well, which way is he pointing? He points one way, points the other way, saying the Saints are not packing correctly, and he's give Huddersfield another penalty. Helliwell finds touch for Huddersfield in the 10-metre area, and it's Fogarty on the charge, looking to breach the Saints line again. Brad Davis on to Flanagan. Nadioli takes it well. He's still going forward. He's a strong runner. He takes it well. And now it's Huddersfield putting the pressure on. Phil Hook trying to duck under the tackle. Bernard Dwyer quickly in, and he's forced down. He doesn't like it, but he's going to have to lump it, isn't he? Flanagan turns it inside. Haggerty has possession. Looking to spread it. He gets it away to Davis. He's siding his way through, but Griffiths brings him down. Well, he's going to penalise the Saints there, and it was Griffiths that was actually being taken round the neck by his counterpart, Brad Davis. But he's penalised Griffiths for a high tackle. Another wrong decision by referee Kershaw. And it's Huddersfield again putting pressure on the Saints. It's the loose forward, Brian Blacker, ready to come back on. He's only got 15 minutes to tidy himself up. Well, the Saints have been penalised again, have they? Well, the referee is just losing control of this match. Is it any wonder that you have trouble at these matches with a chap, well, I don't know what to call him. I know what I could call him. But Huddersfield again, it's Roy Haggerty going for the line. Can he touch down? He's lost the ball. Has the try been given? I think the try has been given. It's Haggerty that's going to be awarded the try, but it looks as though he'd lost the ball. Well, with 18 minutes of the second half, and Roy Haggerty going over. After a catalogue of errors from referee Kershaw. Brian Blacker's back on the pitch. Richard Pearson's come off, and he did well in his time on. He got over for a try. Huddersfield have registered the third try there with Roy Haggerty. He'll be pleased to get one over against his old club. But referee Kershaw not winning many friends this evening with the Saints public. I know Mike McLennan holds referee Kershaw in high esteem. He considers him to be one of the fairest referees on the circuit, but no doubt he'll have a couple of reservations about his performance this evening. 34-16 the score, and Helliwell's conversion to come, and it's between the uprights. So 34 points to 18. Phil Helliwell converts that Haggerty try. So after Saints starting off in good style in the 4th minute of the second half with a nickel try, it's Huddersfield that have had the most of the play, courtesy of referee Kershaw, we may say, but still in commanding lead. Yes, Saints only winning this trophy now, the Regal trophy, but it was when it was John Player. They beat Leeds 15 points to 14, 87-88. They've been there, but just not been able to finish, of the Saints. Been in quite a few semi-finals. Let's hope this is their season. Flanagan loses possession. Unlucky there, just couldn't control the ball. Sonny Nicol accepts the gift. And Saints now have possession. Harrison tries to duck under the tackle, but the two big men there, Fogarty and Harrison, they meet. Chris Joynt. Considering the amount of rain we've had in the last 24 hours, the ground held up exceptionally good. A credit to the ground staff here. But Bernard Dwyer brought down 10 metres short of the line. Huddersfield moving up, ball in an offside position on the referee's left. O'Donnell kicks it through. Well, Riley obstructed as well. O'Donnell was obstructed and then Riley was obstructed. And Saints have a penalty. Quick play of the ball, Faber moving it forward. Beavers played it quickly. Faber on the charge, he's brought down 5 yards short. Oh, Harrison there in a big hole. Yes, no problem for Harrison. John Harrison with the Saints' 8th try of the evening. That's John Harrison's first try for the Saints this season. So we've had Harrison, Faber and Joint all registering the first points of the season. And John Harrison only had to fall over there, didn't he? I think he must have been about 6'6" away from the line. He just fell over, touched it down. Extends the Saints lead to 38-18. And Dwyer should pop this one over, shouldn't he? There he goes, could back heel that over. Dwyer converts it. £40 points to 18 the score. With 23 minutes on the clock. 40 points to 18 the score. Another 17 minutes of rugby to play, and no danger who's going forward to meet Leeds in the first round proper. Always a bone of contention, this preliminary round in any competition, when the big boys can be drawn against the minnows. I mean, this is it with cup rugby. There's always a chance of a lower division team coming through. A day like this with a slippy ground and that, it's anybody's game. But Phil Hook there, he's certainly been giving a bit out this evening, and he's picked his weight there, hasn't he, with Jared McCracken. Certainly a competitive player this evening is Hook. Groves to restart. Just a pity referee Kershaw wasn't watching Huddersfield as eagle-eyed as he's watching the Saints for the offside. But O'Donnell onto Nicholl. Nicholl's lost it. Huddersfield off possession. Pusey at dummy half onto Flanagan. Nadioli has the ball now. Griffiths and Joint bring him to ground. Phil Helliwell from acting half-back, the ex-Bradford three-quarter. He tries to make headway, but it's now with Fogarty. His brother Adam, I think it's his brother Adam, the ex-professional boxer, now with Halifax. Pusey on to Davis. Dwyer and Griffiths bring him to a halt. The last tackle of this sequence. Now it's with Flanagan, but it's on to Ian Thomas. He chips it. O'Donnell knocks on, an uncharacteristic mistake, but good play from Thomas on the 6th tackle. He took the Saints on, he chipped it over. O'Donnell couldn't gather it. It's going to be a scrum down with a Saints feed, with a Huddersfield feed, I beg your pardon. And we're talking about 15 minutes of the game remaining. Huddersfield have possession. Flanagan moves it inside to Davis. Griffiths and Dwyer bring him to a halt. And Huddersfield lining out again. Fogarty slips it away to Nadioli. And the referee quickly in on the far side, obviously in the top corner again, and referee Kershaw up to his old tricks. Flanagan, Haggerty. Solid Saints defence, force Huddersfield back. Well, it looked like a bit of a knock on there, didn't it? As Blacker tried to pick it up. And Brad Davis from Huddersfield, he's been replaced by Richard Pearson. 26 minutes of the second half gone, and he's got a leg injury there, looks to be limping. Brad Davis comes off, and Pearson on. Saints have possession from the scrum. Gus O'Donnell trying to make headway. Now with Paul Groves, bringing it blindside, gets it away to Sonny Nicol. Pearson completes the tackle, and Blacker and Groves just getting a little tangled there, nothing sinister about it. Beavers, good ball there to Riley, but excellent tackling from Huddersfield. Now with Chris Joynt down the blind side, and this fella can move, can't he? 25 yards he gains. Whatever that is in metres, I don't know, but some good yardage there. Now it's with Dwyer. Farber, quick hands to McCracken, and McCracken's on his way. Let's see this fella go. Oh, brilliant work. Oh, superb try by McCracken. He took it 40 yards out and a diagonal run, and he finished off in good style in the corner. That brings the Saints faithful to their feet. Brilliant try from McCracken. He was running onto that ball at pace. As I said, he took it 40 yards out and he powered his way in. The Huddersfield defenders couldn't stop him. And he just squaws in at the corner. Difficult conversion attempt for Bernard Dwyer. As Saints register the 9th try of the evening. (44-18) the score, and Dwyer now. Well, that looks a pearl. Oh, that's a rasper, is it? Oh, just short. It was well on its way, just lacked the distance. 44-18 the score, with 12 minutes of play remaining. Terry Flanagan, the assistant coach there, just doing a bit of organising on the centre line there, the halfway line. Huddersfield kick it off, it's gone directly into touch, so it's a penalty to the Saints. Obviously a chance to go for goal if required, but alas, we haven't got anybody with the capability of kicking it from that distance this evening. Roy Haggerty just gives it back to Paul Groves. A couple of friendly words between them, obviously ex-teammates here at Nosey Road. So it's Phil Vevers with the penalty. Well, a bad kick from Vevers, where a Saints should have... well, Vevers taken out as he went to get the man. Saints should have been on the attack, but now Huddersfield have possession. Ian Thomas attacked, Joe Nadioli attacked in half-back. Farber and Joynt complete the tackling. Now with Andy Pusil. Competed well this evening as Pusil. Played against the Saints a couple of times in the Swinton colours and had an excellent game. Now with Alec Murphy at Huddersfield. Loop movement there. Nadioli coming in again. Lively character. Obviously a good competitor. Spent 10 minutes in the sin bin. Well, a forward pass, unbelievably forward pass there. Referee let him play go on. Obviously Saints have advantage. Les Quirk quickly down on it. Well, Flanagan there doing a bit of mauling. Joynt has possession. Huddersfield tried to take him into touch, but Huddersfield moving up exceptionally quickly. Referee Kershaw, he's just not paying attention. And Saints, quick hands will be the order of the day. Oh, Riley knocks it on. Saints moving quickly to the left to try to beat the Huddersfield offside trap, but it didn't work there. Riley knocked it forward, scrum down with a Huddersfield feed. So I'd imagine tonight's match day mascot, a lady mascot, Catherine Louise Parry, she'll be pleased with the Saints' performance. It's Huddersfield that's have possession now, winning that scrum. They're trailing by 44 points to 18. And it's Fogarty, turns it inside, slips it away to Brian Blacker. Now with Roy Haggerty, always looking to release his Haggerty. We know his style of play. He's got a try on the board this evening. He'll be pleased with that. Any player that's left the club obviously likes to score against their old club. Andy Simpson tries to get things underway, but Saints quickly wrap him up. Bernard Dwyer and Sonny Nicol. Simpson again, lofted ball to Blacker. Fogarty, well, he can bend down for it, I was wrong, but it's now with Phil Hook. Last tackle of this sequence. Hook, well, he played it to himself there. That should have been a penalty. It's going to be a turnover as Nicol and Haggerty cross paths. It's going to be a turnover, I think. No, it's a penalty. Huddersfield been awarded a penalty yet again in close proximity of the Saints line. Fogarty now. Stretching for the line, well. Flanagan moving it crossfield, Simpson along to Nadioli. He can't release it. Excellent tackle on the far side from Mike Riley. Blindside ploy from Helliwell. He turns it out, the ball's knocked back. Can the Saints capitalise on it? But Huddersfield they've lost yardage. Lost a good 20 metres there. Well, that's double Dutch, isn't it? Obviously saying lost yardage and then calling it metres. But you know what I mean. But it's Huddersfield in possession, moving it crossfield. Fogarty and Harrison, they collide. Nicol in there as well. Had plenty of ball as Pearson going in, or looking to go in for another. Well, the forward pass there indicated the way referee Kershaw was going up. He was right on the job. I honestly thought he might have let that go. But Pearson did well there. He had a spell earlier on as a blood bin replacement for Blacker. But he did well there. He broke through the defence. He's obviously taken a knock. He's receiving treatment. It's a scrum down with a Saints feed. The referee there just blowing up before Gus O'Donnell had fed the pack. But it's a penalty to the Saints. Well, he's on a short fuse this evening, isn't he, referee Kershaw? He certainly caused a lot of stoppages this evening. Last 6 minutes of play, 44-18 the score. I'm sure Alex Murphy and his charges will be pleased with this evening's contribution from their side. Now it's Paul Farber. Temper's getting a little frayed in the middle, Farber and Fogarty. Pearson has had to come off, and Carl Derrick has come back on. Oh, he's just coming back on now. Groves to restart, Paul Farber now. No messing with Farber, he only knows one way. Moves it downfield, plenty of attention. Roy Haggerty and Farber, a couple of Thatterweath lads there in the good pals in the Saints ranks. Got another penalty for the Saints, they play it quickly. Dwyer moves it crossfield, gets it away to... Is it Gus O'Donnell? It's now with Chris Joint, and he drives for the line. Support there from Les Quirk coming in. Gus O'Donnell, Mike Riley coming in, looking for a piece of the action. Saints in a good attacking position, 10 metres out, right in front of the sticks. I think every one of the Huddersfield players was in front of referee Kershaw there. I think he's just gave up a bit. Groves, back to Griffiths, loop movement with O'Donnell. Well, O'Donnell taking off the ball, Nadioli comes up with it. good break from this fella. Watch him stretch his legs. What a superb tackle by Dwyer. Brandon Greenwood attacked in half. On to Flanagan. It's now with Brian Blacker. 50 yards upfield. Huddersfield moved there from defending on their own line to deep in the Saints half. Fogarty, the man brought down. Haggerty now looking to get through. Always looking for support there is Haggerty. He kept the ball going. Well, that certainly looked as though it had come back to me. I wouldn't have given that as a knock-on. Haggerty always looking to release it. Flicked it back, but referee Kershaw rules a knock-on. And who are we to disagree with him? 3 minutes of the match remaining. Comfortable win for the Saints, 44-18. Saints have possession. O'Donnell on to Griffiths. Takes it blindside. Riley and Riley and Sullivan, I beg your pardon. Money on the wrong wing. On the outside there. But Griffiths had to take the tackle. Not a lot of atmosphere this evening, unfortunately. Quite a poor crowd by the Saints standard. But Tuesday evening and winter drawing in. Now Sonny Nicol from dummy half. Penetrates the Huddersfield line. Phil Vevers there linking up. Excellent competitor Vevers. Along the line, O'Donnell, Griffiths. Inside ball to Joint. Just as his legs taken. Sixth tackle of this sequence. Dwyer moves it left. It's now with O'Donnell. Be a bit of snow on that when it comes down. Well, Saints have possession. He's offside, that man, surely. It's an offside decision, yes. Referee Kershaw moves in. Saints are awarded the penalty. The man of the match award going to Jared McCracken as John Harrison powers his way centre field. About 8 yards, 8 metres short of the try line. Groves, inside ball to Sonny Nicol. Groves again attacked in half. Reverse pass to Paul Forber. Flicks it back to Sonny Nicol. Nicol will power. Well, that looked a little bit high, that on Nicol. It certainly did. Fogarty involved again. Saints are awarded the penalty. Vevers wants to take it quickly in a game littered with penalties. Well, Huddersfield move up there. Vevers takes it quickly. Griffiths, O'Donnell, onto Joint. He's backing into the defence. McCracken coming through. In the dying seconds now, Saints still driving forward, looking to get possibly the half century. Trying a goal would bring them up to 50. Well, McCracken, well, the ball knocked forward by Huddersfield, not McCracken, surely. I don't know. He's given a knock-on, he's given it to McCracken a knock-on, but it certainly looks as though Huddersfield had come through and pushed it forward. But it's Flanagan that's going to feed the final scrum of this evening's match. But he's penalised the Saints. A differential penalty. Don't know what sort of a decision that is. Not backing correctly, it looks like, but the ball was in the scrum. Flanagan finds touch. Roy Haggerty now bringing the ball up. 10 yards short of the halfway. Then time added on now as Hook moves it to the right. Pusil. Hook, Flanagan along the line. Andy Simpson trying to get through, but no way through for him this time. A good win for the Saints. Puts them in the first round proper now against Leeds a week on Sunday. There's the final hooter. Referee Kershaw brings the game to a halt. 44 points to 18 is the final score. 9 try performance from the Saints, 3 from Tiarapati, who was replaced at half-time. 1 each for Forber, Joint, Quirk, Nicol, Harrison and McCracken, finishing it off there 13 minutes before the end. So 44 points to 18, the final score. A good performance from the Saints. They started off well. They finished off in good style with McCracken try and march on. Anyway, as I said, next Sunday, a home game back in league action versus Bradford, top of the table clash. This is to be screened on the Sky on the night, the 9 o'clock kick-off, or 9 o'clock showing, I should say. So I'm sure there'll be a big crowd for it here on Sunday. Anyway, thanks once again for joining us. You've been with your Saints video team. My name's Ron Hoof. I hope you'll join us on Sunday for the league match against Bradford, and then obviously the first round regal tie against Leeds the following weekend. So the final score here from Rosie Road, 44 points to 18. The Saints defeat Huddersfield.